the voluminous thing. I think most members normally focus on the summarized report, but this one is a bit more specific. The Honorable Kiari John.
Mr. Speaker, I thank you. And I also must thank the Honorable Samuel Atandi and congratulate him for preparing his maiden budget, and in the same breath congratulate his committee which has judiciously combed through this budget and even had time to listen in on the sector proposals. And I must say that this year it has been a bit different, because we can see that this report that he presents to the House is true to the submissions that were made by the different committees before his committee. Mr. Speaker, also allow me to appreciate the tireless work that was done by the Chair Emeritus, the Honorable Ndindi Nyoro, who is also a member of this committee, and I want to believe that he was also part of the team that was burning midnight oil to ensure that this gets to us in time. Mr. Speaker, the work done here, we can see that the committee was very keen to move in the direction of austerity. And they were doing this while balancing very many competing interests. And Mr. Speaker, what they have done for the year 25-26 starts us off on a good trajectory towards where we would want Kenya to go, and especially being true to the bottom-up economic transformation agenda. And Mr. Speaker, I want to speak this from the bottom of my heart, that the generation of members of parliament in the 13th parliament will one day look back and they shall be extremely proud that they were part of the team that made extremely difficult decisions when Kenya needed decisions to be made, at a time when Kenya could not continue kicking the can down the road, because some of the things that the Honorable Samuel Atandi and his committee are funding in this report are things that Kenya has always wanted to do. Mr. Speaker, not a single presidential candidate has vied in any election in this country and never mentioned the issue of housing. Every time they put it in their manifesto, every time they tried to implement it, because of populist politics, they shied off. But this time around, Mr. Speaker, this is a generation of leaders who have decided to take the bull by the horns, and we are seeing the results, Mr. Speaker. In just 1 year of funding this program called the Affordable Housing Program, we in Nairobi are seeing the benefit of it. Mr. Speaker, words cannot explain what we saw in Mukuru, when individuals who would never have dreamt to be in a house that has what we take to be basic amenities, sinks that have running water, toilets that are inside their house, and all these other things that we take for granted. These people who had never imagined that they could live in a stone-walled house were receiving their keys thanks to the decisions that are being made by the generation of leaders this time. Mr. Speaker, in Dagoretti South constituency, we are waiting. Coming out of this budget that is presented by Honorable Sam Atandi, we are expecting to see the biggest infrastructural drive in the history of our constituency, Mr. Speaker. Seeing the coming up of affordable housing projects in Gashui, seeing the affordable housing, constructing houses in Reruta, the markets that have broken ground in Reruta, the markets that are coming up to break ground in Waithaka and in Gashui. Mr. Speaker, these decisions that need to be made must be made by people who know that you do not have to always be popular, because sometimes in leadership you have to make very tough decisions, and history shall vindicate you. We have seen it in the case of the Honorable President Emeritus Mwai Kibaki, when he was making the hard and tough decisions, and especially in the coalition government with the Honorable Prime Minister Raila Odinga. We will remember, we were old enough when Kenyans were shouting them down, saying that Kibaki and Raila do not love Kikuyus. They are demolishing the houses of Kikuyus. But the moment Thika Road came up, the moment the bypasses became operational, today everybody is saying that Kibaki must have been the best president Kenya had. Because at a time of reform, at a time of building, it might be painful, but the benefits that accrue out of it go into posterity. Mr. Speaker, Honorable Samatandi is helping us fund here the university funding model. Mr. Speaker, you remember when the Honorable Mwai Kibaki attempted to say that there is free primary education, some people were shouting him down. They were saying, Kibaki is not giving us masomo ya bure. He is giving us masomo bure. And people were saying it is not possible to admit all those children into primary schools and give them quality education. Today, we are seeing the result of it. So, Honorable Speaker, I do see the work that has been put in by the Committee on Budget and Appropriations, moving us towards the realization of dreams that Kenya has had as aspirations since the inception of country. Mr. Speaker, I did take note of an observation made by the committee in regard of revenue mobilization. And Mr. Speaker, this cannot be taken lightly. When the committee makes a recommendation that KRA has to better its ways of mobilizing revenue. And Mr. Speaker, in this age of technology, KRA can be more innovative, more creative. I am seeing what is happening in Malawi, Mr. Speaker, where their revenue authority is undertaking a lottery that invites people to enter a lottery with their ETR receipts, which is really bringing up the issue of compliance among the taxpayers, Mr. Speaker, to a place where they are able to improve on revenue collection. KRA attempted that, went the wrong way about it. Because when it comes to some of these things, you have to depend on experts to get it right, Mr. Speaker. This issue of revenue mobilization, Mr. Speaker, speaks also to the recommendation, to the observation made by the committee on the management, the mobilization, and the utilization of A within government institutions. And Mr. Speaker, the observation made by the committee must be followed with a recommendation that this committee sees through. Because the way that A is mobilized, the way A is utilized within government agencies, if that was streamlined, we would be able to comfortably raise in excess of over $500 billion just from A, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, these budget estimates that as presented by the committee are also speaking to issues in the sector that I am superintending over. Mr. Speaker, I chair the Committee on Communication, Information and Innovation. And the budget policy statement did note and identify that the creative economy and the digital economy are offer great opportunities for work, engagement, and also money raising for the youth in this country. And Mr. Speaker, that is why you will find that in this budget, we have been able to allocate in excess of 16 billion Kenya shillings to the State Department of ICT and the digital economy. We have also been able to allocate 6 billion, in excess of 6 billion, to the State Department of Broadcasting and Telecommunication. Mr. Speaker, with this in our sector, we aim to be able to develop the ICT infrastructure by rolling out in excess of 35,000 kilometers of fiber, providing internet connectivity to over 43,000 institutions, schools, hospitals, government offices. And Mr. Speaker, I'm speaking this at a time when it must be noted in this House that connectivity now is not just a mere utility. Connectivity today, Mr. Speaker, is a matter of life and death. There are some systems that are depending on connectivity in the civic areas, even in security areas, in the military, And even for operations to happen, Mr. Speaker, this connectivity speaks to development of our country and even being able to raise revenue, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, we noted when we were doing this budget making process. Mr. Speaker, the final thing that I wanted to mention is that we noted that the persistent budget cuts and the inadequate allocations are leading to delay in very major capital projects, Mr. Speaker. And I do pray that the committee led by Honorable Sam Atandi, he himself, a financial mind of great repute, is going to be vigilant to the extent that this budget shall be implemented as passed by this House, so that, Mr. Speaker, we do not run into the situation where, after we pass such a good budget, we end up in situations where we have exchequer problems, or even worse, come back to the House with a supplementary budget that negates very important things that were passed in the main budget. Mr. Speaker, with those points, I know I have much I would have wanted to say about our sector, but with those few points, Mr. Speaker, allow me to support this report on the consideration of the estimates of revenue and expenditure for financial year 2025-2026 and commend the new chair and his committee for a great job well done. I thank you, Mr. Speaker.
The Honorable Martin Owino, MP from the UA, will now be heard.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I rise to fully support this budget estimate for the year 25-26. And I want to congratulate the chair, as he moves out there, for the work well done. Mr. Speaker, reducing the fiscal deficit by 0.7 is not an easy task. And I want to ask them to put the foot on the pedal, on the gas pedal, because it's the right trajectory. Mr. Speaker, I want to just pick few items here because majority has been spoken here. I don't want to repeat. But the sugar sector reforms, 2 billion. We come from the sugar growing area. I think this is a good thing to do. I just ask that it should be oversighted well as the leases go on. Most of this should pay the debts which are there. The leases should not take over these factories with people's debt and don't pay. And I want to appeal to the farmers who are boycotting taking sugar because they want their pay. This has been factored in, so please cooperate. The other issue, Mr. Speaker, is the affordable housing. To us, it is different. In our rural setting, it is different from the town setting. Because affordable housing here, as visioned by the President, is about food security. You can remember, Mr. Speaker, if Carrier has five children and they grow up and you only have 5 acres of land, one takes 1 acre, another one like that, you have nowhere to grow. So affordable housing in rural setting will space out more acres for food production, and I call that food security. And I thank the President for that. Actually, if you fly over our areas, you will see all sorts of houses spread all over, and people have nowhere to farm. So this was a great thing, and Mr. Speaker, 95 billion put to it, I think, and I know Ndewa is included. And I want to thank the President for that. And if I don't go far, allow me to thank the President for visiting our constituency. For the first time, we received a President with development agenda. And so we have Gormaya Ring Road going to connect all the 7 wards. This budget is fair and is equitable. And that's why we are commending this committee. The issue of TVET, the President came and launched in a rural setting. I really say kudos to him because he follows the vision and makes sure things are done. TVET or skilled training is the way to go for our children. And this committee put 43.2 billion so that these kids can be skilled and even self-employ themselves. Because the issue of white-collar jobs is gone. So I know the budget chair is telling me the time, but this is passionate to me as the issue of TVET. The primary healthcare fund, Dr. Nyikal talked about this very well, and the SHA. I want to talk to the public who may be watching this. Don't be fooled that SHA does not work. Those who spread that rumor actually have registered. And if you register and we pump in this money to our primary healthcare facilities, it will increase the availability of medicine, the diagnostic equipment, and the personnel. And that this, to me, Chair, will arrest the disease progression due to poor management of these diseases. The cases which are isolated, like Oundo mentioned, those can be handled differently. But the general picture is that SHA works. And we have testimony from many people whose bills are cleared. The issue of education. Mr. Speaker, in my constituency, I still have teacher ratio 1 to 80. When this is being implemented, I think affirmative action should take place so that those areas with huge teacher-student ratio can be considered. I want to thank the committee about the blue economy, 5 billion. Our people depend on the lake, and it has been underutilized for a long time. I hope this will help improve the livelihood of our people. Power connectivity, in Ndewa specifically, the power connection is under 6%. In other areas, 95 to 100. So even if we put this 63.4 billion, we ask the ministry to use affirmative action. Lastly, Mr. Speaker, budget cannot be beneficial to the public if the exchequer release is as low as 60-65%. And we appeal to the Treasury. We can mention all this type of money, but if you only release a bit of it, and we are in program-based itemized budget, it does not realize the goals. The issue of equalization fund, I don't know, Mr. Speaker, who oversight this. Because we appropriate it here, but we don't see what it does wherever they go. That should be looked into. But in overall, I think this is a good budget. Thank you, Honorable Atandi and your team. Let us remain as a house to oversight this, because if we don't have good implementation, and it will be like a whitewash. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I yield and I support this budget.
Take 2 minutes. Take 2 minutes.
Honorable members, you are notified